Hello, everyone, and welcome to the October 2021 edition of Autocall Academy. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join us and to learn some more about what's happening in the world of Autocall. Next slide, Aaron, please. As usual, this session is being recorded. You all get the little flag up on the top there, and we'll be posting this recording on the Autocall website for people who aren't able to attend to review this later on. And again, all questions are going to be going through the Q&A window with no verbal questions through the interface. On today's agenda, we'll cover the Partner of the Month program, the winners from the last month, and then the categories that are coming up in the next. And then we also have Anil Kanjalwar joining us to do an introduction to the IDNet version of the Vesda E series sensors, which is a really good launch for some special applications. And then Aaron and I will do a quick marketing update on some of the new assets and collateral that are out, followed by a new set of Q&A for any questions toward the end. So next slide. So Evan, Partner of the Month.
Sure. Thanks, Peter. All right, we'll advance into the winners here as it comes up onto my page. So as something we've been trying to do to give back to you, we've been lucky enough to have Eric support us with this Partner of the Month program, which we're super excited about because, like I said, we want to constantly give back to all of you that support us so much. And so this month we have our core categories, 2 of our lightning rounds. We're going to communicate what the new lightning rounds will be for next month, but here they are. So first one, most social media posts tagging the Autocall brand. And this one goes out to Genesis. Thanks to Kelly and team to make this happen, especially since, you got a new ASM in the area being John. So tag him like crazy in all your social media posts. I know he loves it. So thank you. Next one goes out to the most spec owner presentations on Autocall. I mean, this is massive, right? Where we want to take Autocall to is the point where when you go to look at a job and you open up the specs of it, you see our Autocall name sitting there. And we need your help with that. We'll continue to help with it with our business development managers. But the winning for this category this month is NSG. So thanks to Dan and the whole team there for continuing to get more spec share for the business. Category 3 was adding the most Autocall brand specs. So in a bonus point for providing a copy of those specs. So this kind of goes hands in hand with number 2. So Dan and team are out there pounding pavement to get presentations to hopefully lead to the third category that Stilson's taken away here. So thanks to Sean and team, great job well done, and obviously achieving what we've came to market to do to capture more market with this brand of Autocall. And the only way to do that is be on more specs. So thank you, excellent work. Our lightning round, so stepping outside of the core categories and moving on to our lightning round categories. We're looking at the most 4010 and 4100 touchscreen displays sold in the given month. That one goes out to Signature Building Systems. So thank you to John and team, appreciate that. It's always promising to see people jumping on board right away to our new products. And with Anil coming up after me here, hopefully we'll work that into the next lightning rounds or further lightning rounds down the road. And then the last category here is for most Autocall Academy webinar attendance. So what you'll notice here, or what we're noticing, sorry, on the back end, you guys can't see it, is we've seen a little bit of a blip with people attending these webinars. So we would love your feedback as to why, or can you not make it? I know we're preaching to the choir right now because you're all on here listening to me. But if there's not the value that you're hoping, or maybe there's confusion because we also have our fireside chats, we have some other meetings in the mix, give us that feedback if it's too much. We understand that being stuck behind a computer is awful, but we want to do everything possible to get the needed presentations and literature in front of you. That being said, a huge cheerleader for us is the ATS Alaska team. So thanks to Dave and team for continuing to hop on these webinars. Hopefully you continue to see huge benefit in it. So for everybody on here, please go tell your peer partners, your friends to hop on here and listen to what we have to say about new product offerings or anything new within Autocall. Moving on to what October looks like. So we'll remain with our core categories, most social media posts. So make sure to tag your ASM as well as, hashtag Autocall, tag Autocall as a brand as well. Next category, moving on, is organize the most presentations to educate spec owners. Again, going down that road of we want more spec share. We will help you with these presentations. Please reach out to your ASM, your FSEs, your BDM. We will be hand in hand with you to make sure that those presentations are a success. Leading to the last category for our core categories is having our brand of Autocall added to specs. And again, a bonus point if you provide a copy of the specs. Our lightning round for this month will continue to have most 4010 and 4100 color touchscreen displays sold as a category. And the next category for lightning round would be taking jobs away from other brands on the market. So obviously we brought Autocall to market as an indirect offering. We've always offered in the North American market Simplex through the direct channel, but this is where we've come to market with Autocall, and we want to make sure that we gain further spec share. So please do share with us where you've won a job versus our competition in the marketplace. That's all for me, and we're going to move forward with some more exciting news and information. Thank you, and congratulations to the winners.
Alrighty, thank you, Evan. My name is Anil Khanjalwar. I'm the Senior Product Manager for our Connected Solutions product line. So I'm going to be talking about a launch which is coming soon, which is embedding IDNet in WESDA-E detectors. So we've worked with our partner Extralis to develop this new capability where we're embedding an IDNet interface in a WESDA-E detector that would enable that WESDA-E detector to communicate over IDNet loop, right? Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to team in Alaska, ATS Alaska. I just heard that they're the most webinar Autocall Academy present, so I'm sure there's somebody from Alaska on this call as well. So quickly, fundamentals on WESDA, right? What is a WESDA or WESDA-E, right? These are a family of aspirating very high sensitivity sensors, right? Where air is actively drawn in through sampling tubes and tested. These WESDA detectors, they provide very early detection of fires. They have very wide sensitivity range, and then they provide that reliable, consistent performance. And you would say, I'm sure you folks have deployed WESDA, Extralis' WESDA technology in many locations. Where would you use them, right? Large open spaces where point, heat, or smoke detections are not the right choice. There could be areas requiring extremely early warning of fires, like data centers, or facilities where point detection would disrupt the aesthetics, right? In museums or, high value buildings, maybe, right? So what type of facilities, right? Correction facilities, clean rooms, cold storage, document storage, cultural heritage sites, right? Where you don't want to ruin the aesthetics, data storage and telecom, very early warning of fire, wind, nuclear, power generation, transportation hubs, and warehouses. So basically, lots of applications, but typically, requiring early detection of fire, and then, where aesthetics is a concern. Maintaining aesthetics is a concern. Next slide. All right, thanks, Aaron. Oh, no, went too far. I guess there is a little lag. There you go. Thanks. So what is being launched? As I mentioned earlier, right? We worked with our partner Xtralis to develop this new capability. So what we're going to be launching soon is a new family of Autocall branded addressable WESDI detectors. All WESDI detectors, they have a technology named Flare technology, which is a revolutionary detection chamber that's core in every WESDI detector, which provides better detection, provides fewer nuisance alarms, and better particle characterization. WESDI has been out there for I think 5 or 6 years, almost 4 to 5 years probably, and so this is their proven WESDI technology now available on IDNet. These new WESDI detectors are UL 268 7th edition compliant. And then there's 3 WESDI detectors that are embedded with IDNet. So that's a VEP, that's their entry level WESDI detector. VEU, that's the premium model, which features ultra-wide sensitivity, which actually provides longer pipe runs and extended coverage over other WESDI detectors. And then VES, which has addressability for up to 4 pipes or 4 zones, right? It provides that addressability. Now, each of these WESDI detectors includes a built-in IDNet interface. So these WESDI units then connect to the IDNet channel, just like any other Autocall initiating device, right? Just like a spot smoke detector sits on IDNet or a IM or a ZAM or a pull station. These detectors would now sit on, or addressable beam detector. This detectors would now sit on the IDNet loop. Now, what does that provide? It provides that individual addressing, configuration, reporting, and control. So some of the information that you can get from WESDI detector now to the panel is you can get 4 alarm states, right? So you can get alert, action, fire 1, fire 2. You can get urgent fault, minor fault, detect the standby statuses back to the panel. You can get the smoke obscuration percent. That value is reported as an analog value. You can get, there is a fault code from 0 to 255. That's reported back to the panel. Those fault codes could be airflow faults, detector fault, could be communication fault. So it basically provides you that fault code as an analog value back to the panel. What can you do from the panel, right? You could reset a detector. You could put the detector in standby mode. You can disable the detector. You can do a silencing of the detector. And you can also actually normalize the airflow right from the panel. So those are some of the command functions that's available from the panel. So what does it mean to you and your customers, right? I mean, bottom line, it's easier, lower cost installation and service, right? It's direct connection to the IDNet channel, eliminates the need for IAMs and any other equipment that's required, right? Boxes, more wiring, right? Reducing the total cost of equipment. You don't need to wire another piece of module. You don't have to do the programming time. You save on that installation labor, right? So that easier, lower cost installation service. Of course, WESDI provides that early detection and better safety, right? It's a high performance design, detect fire very rapidly, providing that more time to escape for the occupants. And then early detection in areas like data centers and warehouses, that allows fires to be extinguished before they cause major operational disruption, right? Now, this new capability, right, IDNet with WESDI, that allows you to take on, any projects, right? With WESDI now in your portfolio, you can design a protection solution that's perfectly tailored to every area in the facility, right? And the WESDI now being integrated into the IDNet loop is also a specifiable feature. Bottom line, you have more options and better performance means you can win more projects. You have this bigger portfolio now available to you. And finally, fully integrated and more information, right? Now with a direct connection to the IDNet loop, WESDI alarms, faults, commands, the command that I talked about, control functions are now directly accessible from the panel, the control unit, and also TrueSight workstation. So operators can receive rich alarm and information data from the detectors. And then, of course, technicians have full access to all the configuration settings. I mean, think about the information that's available. That benefits not just you as your service provider or the installer, but also an end user customer. So very excited about this capability that we're launching. A quick look at traditional connection versus IDNet interfacing, right? In a traditional way, on the left-hand side, we see an IDNet loop, and you have several WESDI detectors now connected to the fire panel via monitor modules and through internal relays. You think about all the additional hardware costs, right? Additional modules, they need to be installed in a box. You need to find space to install them. You need to wire these. Now you need to program them separately. And then you only get basic alarm and fault or alarm and trouble information available to the fire panel. And you contrast that with the direct IDNet connection. Now this is a uniquely specifiable solution, as I mentioned, but now with the direct connection, all those monitor modules, additional wiring, all that hardware is eliminated. You have an inbuilt interface into the WESDI detector. With VEP single pipe, VEP and VEU, they occupy one address on the loop, and the VES occupies 4 addresses on the loop. And as I mentioned before, alarms, faults, commands, and control functions are now available right at the panel. And then, of course, it's ideal for installations where you need that seamless integration with fire alarm is required, similar to what we do with spot detectors. So a huge benefit. You think about how a traditional connection is done versus IDNet. The next slide. So kind of highlighting some of the detectors, right? So the first one, the entry level is the VEP, right? It is it provides an out-of-box operation. It has field replaceable components. It comes with 3.5-inch touchscreen, and VEP is backward compatible with VLP. So if there are any VLP out there, you could in fact upgrade them with the VEP. There are some significant upgrade opportunities. There is Ethernet available on these for connectivity with Extralis software for configuration, secondary monitoring, and maintenance. And VEP comes in 1 and 4 pipe versions, and the area coverage is 10,000 for 1 pipe and 21,000 square feet for a 4 pipe, and a wide sensitivity range, and of course direct connection to the IDNet loop. So with VEP, there are 3 basically variants, right? There is a single pipe one, which is with a 3.5-inch display, and then there's 4 pipe one, which comes in a 3.5-inch display and 3.5-inch LCD display and an LED display. Next slide. And the next one is the VEU, which is the premium detector of the WESDI range. It provides 15 times greater sensitivity range than VLP. Provides higher area coverage, longer pipe runs, right? It is their premium range of WESDI detector. Of course, like any other WESDI, it provides an Ethernet for configuration software, secondary monitoring, and maintenance. As you see, the area coverage is about maximum is 69,000 square feet. And look at the sensitivity range is 0.0003% obscuration to 6.25% obscuration per foot. So very wide sensitivity range, and of course direct connection to the IDNet loop. And then there are 2 variants to this, which is one with a standard LED display, and then the another one is 3.5-inch LCD display. The next slide. And finally, the VES, right? VES is similar to VEP detector, but now it includes a valve mechanism in the inlet manifold. And with the valve mechanism and software, it basically controls the airflow from 4 sectors or 4 pipes, right? And then this provides addressability for all those 4 pipes. And then there is, of course, 4 configurable alarm levels, and then wide sensitivity range as well on VES, provides Ethernet as other WESDI, and then your area coverage is up to 21,000 square feet, and sensitivity range is 0.016 to 6.25. And again, direct connection to IDNet loop. So 2 variants again for VES, one with a LED display and one with 3.5-inch LCD display. So bottom line is there's going to be 7 new detectors that's going to be launched, would be added to the portfolio. Next slide. I think that was my last slide. And so with that, stay tuned for a launch announcement. We're kind of finalizing the pricing, finalizing the commercialization plan, finalizing the launch presentation, which you already saw some part of it. So stay tuned for the announcement. So Peter and I will be announcing it soon. With that, I'm handing over to Peter. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for the update, Anil. Much appreciated. Excuse me. So now for the next section, I just want to take you through a few of the recent launches or a few of the recent items that we've released to help support you and to help promote the Autocall brand and business throughout the marketplace, and a couple of things that are coming up. So first of all, we've released what we call the Autocall Heritage video. We've had requests from the various Autocall segments around the world, actually, for a piece that highlights the Autocall brand. That demonstrates that Autocall has been in the marketplace for a really long time, that it's not just a new invention, but it's a brand with heritage and knowledge and a lot of capability behind it. So we put together this video, which shows some of the big milestones in the Autocall development, and since Autocall was created as a brand well over 100 years ago. This is available now from YouTube and via a link, and we'll include it in the newsletter that's coming out this week. And we'll also got it up on the website and the Autocall website for people to grab. This is actually part of a whole series of heritage videos that we did that include like our Zettler brand and our Fireclass brand as well, that are used in different parts of the world. So a nice piece and a nice thing to help bolster the Autocall positioning within your customer range. Next slide, Aaron. We also have published our new monthly issue of the Industry Roundtable podcast. This is episode number 10, where Roger speaks with Jim Milkey from the Maryland program, and it is What's a Fire Protection Engineer? Really, what does an FPE do? How do you become an FPE? And what types of educational paths do they have at Maryland to become an FPE? And Jim also talks about how he journeyed from into the field himself, from a first responder essentially into an FPE, and also what types of research an FPE candidate gets into at Maryland. It's an interesting look at the role and how you become one. We've also got episode 11 in the can, as we say, and that's going to be coming the first week of November, and that is codes and standards and how they work together. So in that episode, Roger is going to be tackling what the difference is between a code and a standard, how they work together, and when you employ one versus the other. It's also a very interesting episode, and I highly recommend that you listen to both of these and to subscribe to the podcast on either Spotify or iTunes. And again, these are all posted on the Autocall website, and you can grab them and share them with your customers. Next slide. And then finally, we've been working on this for quite a long time, and I know we've talked about these before, but they're here finally. The Autocall AutoCAD files. We've got the library of these files delivered in both PDF and DWG formats, and they've been vetted by the team. And I'm going to be working with the webmaster, Mike Copley, to get these posted on the Autocall site over the next few days. So they're done. We'll be announcing them, and we'll definitely want your feedback on these. We've already heard from the ASMs a request for a couple of enhancements and additions to these, which we're already working on. And again, these are a living document, so they should be useful to you. Hopefully they'll really help you design more efficiently and get specified more efficiently. And if there's any additions or changes or whatever, let us know and we'll get them done for you. So, of course, this is a partnership between us, and, we're not just pushing these out to you. We want to hear from you how useful they are and things that we can do to make things better for you. So I'm excited that these are finally done and that I can finally share them with you. And we'll be keeping these up to date as we have new launches coming out in the coming months. So that's the final slide, Aaron, I think. And so now we're moving into the Q&A section, and just wondering, we can open up the floor here to have, you can submit any questions or comments that you have through the Q&A bubbles on this, and right now I don't see any that we have in there, but please do go ahead and open up. Anil, I just wanted to ask you if you could put you on the spot here and see if you could give us an update on how things are coming along with the SafeLink cross-listing, because I know we've talked about that earlier.
Hi, Peter. Yeah, thanks for that question. In fact, we're actually pretty close to launching SafeLink also to our Autocall channel. We're finalizing some of the commercialization pieces, so we're targeting end of this month to launch SafeLink to Autocall as well. In fact, we had a fire talk with our Autocall folks on Monday, was it? Monday, I think, yeah, or Tuesday. And I did talk about SafeLink there as well. We did a quick demo. So yes, SafeLink's also on its way.
Excellent. And I know from the marketing side, we have the collateral for SafeLink completed and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
The video, actually, we talked to Com Creative today, and the video should be ready on Monday. So by the time that this is we're ready to announce it, we should have everything to be sent out with the package.
Yeah. We were waiting on some of the multi-listing and some of the safety stock. So.
Great. So we got a question, one question in here. When will the slides be mailed out? We're gonna go ahead and include the recording to this and the replay of it on the email that we're sending out with the newsletter. And Aaron, I believe that's going to go Friday, correct?
Friday or Monday?
Friday or Monday. Okay, great. Yep. So the answer to that is we'll have it on Friday and Monday. Any other questions or comments from anybody on the line, or any of the presenters? Evan or Patrick, anything you wanted to bring up?
I'm good at this time, but open to answer any questions that anybody might have.
Great. Yeah, it seems quiet. Obviously, we were, like you said, the attendance is a little bit late, so I'm not all that surprised. One thing I guess I could mention, and I know we don't have Peter Eversald on the line here, but I heard today that the BSIU TSW launch is also imminent. Finally, I know we've been talking about that for quite a while, and I heard that the UL listings are through on that as well. So that's a little bit of breaking news today. So last call for questions. Again, in the Q&A section, anyone want to have anything to add? We'll give it a final call, and then if not, we'll wrap the session up, and we'll move on from there for everyone's day. Okay, yep, no more questions. So I think we can call this a wrap. Thank you everyone for your attendance today. Please do reach out via email with any comments or anything that occurs to you. We're here to help, and we will see you next month for the next Autocall Academy in November. Thank you.
Thanks all. Be well.